Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Resident Town Hall. We're going to start off the meeting today. I'm going to announce our October Employees of the Month. I've had several requests for me to make sure I introduce them to the residents, so we have two of them here. Is Pam anywhere? We'll start with the folks I see right up front here. So first, we always do 3 Employees of the Month every month. One for independent living, one for assisted living and memory care, and then one for Plaza West Health Center. So for assisted living and memory care, the October Employee of the Month is Ashley Vasquez. If you want to come on up. Ashley was previously our rehab assistant at Plaza West and recently transitioned to assisted living memory care. So with her Employee of the Month acknowledgement, she gets 400 extraordinary rewards points, which equates to $100 of things she can purchase off of our online catalog, and a bunch of other good perks, parking spots and stuff like that. So congratulations, Ashley. Next we have Laura Bridges. She is a receptionist at Plaza West, and she gets all the same rewards that Ashley gets, so we're very excited for her this month too. Congratulate Laura. And then our Independent Living Employee of the Month is Pam Hack. She is a driver in transportation, and she was supposed to be here, and I don't see her anywhere, but she gets all those perks too. And I'll just again let you know how the employees are selected. So when all of you submit a nice letter or email about somebody that did something for you, or a coworker submits a nice letter, they all are given to our Extraordinary Rewards Committee, and we take the names off, so we don't want it to be biased, right? So we take the employee's name out, but they get to read what that particular employee did for somebody that was extraordinary, and then from each of those nominations, they select the winner for the Employee of the Month. So we do that every month. We think it's a really great program and are very thankful. Thank you to both of you for all you do for Freedom Plaza. Next up, I just want to do a little wrap up from the storm last week. I want to say thank you to all the team members that are here. I think we did a pretty good job holding the fort down. I don't take any credit. I give all that credit to my leadership team and the employees that stayed through the storm, and then the employees that came in and relieved the people that stayed through the storm. We are still working through some cleanup on the golf course. Sibby was going to give an update today, but he had something come up. So there were some pretty big trees down on the golf course. We think the golf course is going to reopen on Thursday. But we're also going to take this opportunity to remove some trees that already needed to be removed prior to the storm. So we're going to go ahead and get that done as well. But overall, we were lucky. And some of the things that we are sort of talking about as a follow-up is, even though things went really well last week, what can we do better next time? Because we want to continue to be prepared. And make sure in the event that we do get a much more severe storm here, that we are fully ready for that. So we're going to continue to have those discussions. We're keeping all of the folks in Fort Myers and Naples area in our prayers and thoughts. We do have a sister community in Port Charlotte that really had some pretty significant damage. It's called Southport Square. It's in Port Charlotte. So they are just now getting electricity back online. And there were several days there that they had no cell phone service, no electricity, no anything. And the only way they were able to communicate was by satellite phone, where you had to be outside. The antenna has to point straight up in the air, and then you might get through to somebody on that satellite phone. So they are making progress every day, and we're going to help them out in any way that we can from a staffing perspective or anything they might need. Another follow-up item, I did get some feedback from residents that we gave those instructions to fill your bathtubs up with water in case we needed to use that water to flush toilets, and many people said their bathtubs were not holding water. So if that was the case for you, please put in a work order. Someone will be around to take a look at that. Also, we had some windows during the storm where the window blew open on the Lanai. Now that was due to after the window cleaners came through, they didn't lock it when they were finished. So if you want, people will be around to make sure your windows are locked properly so they don't blow open and I don't know that they would blow open in a normal storm, but we will make sure windows are secured. And I will just take a break and say Pam is in the back. Pam Hack, if you want to come up. Congratulations to Pam while she's here for receiving her Employee of the Month. So just give her one more round of applause since she's here now. Thank you, Pam. We appreciate it. And then I think that was all we do have some of our normal leaky lanai situations that reared their ugly head during the storm. And so if that's the case for you, they will be coming around to make sure that everything is sealed properly. And I will just give a little narrative on our lanais. So this is not a new problem where we have some lanais leak. Some lanais never leak. Other lanais, we actually replace the whole lanai and it still leaks. So just some history there. We have some sister communities in the Tampa Bay area. We were all built by the same engineer and designer, about 30 years ago, right, give or take. And these buildings were built, the lanais were not glassed in. They were just screened in porches. And so over time, in the beginning, residents started saying, well, I would like this to be glassed in. And some of them paid to actually have their lanais glassed in. And then it became a trend and everybody started glassing in their lanais. And then it sort of just became part of how we renovated apartments. Well, the buildings were not designed for glassed in lanais. We've made them that way, but they were not originally designed that way. So we are never gonna have a foolproof way to have leak-free, glassed in lanais. The one thing that I have heard over time that has worked at some of our other communities on the other side of the bay is if you actually do like storefront windows, where it's not like this individual windows you can open and close, where it's like a storefront window. That's the only thing that has seemed to be pretty foolproof for the lanais, but it's also not what you're going for from an aesthetic perspective on the lanai. But we will continue to do our best when there's an issue to fix it, and we will continue to seal them and replace windows when we need to. But just giving you a little background on why some of those things happen. Another update is that our flu shot and booster clinic, we did do a swift reach, we did an email, we have some memos up. It was supposed to be tomorrow, and Walgreens called us yesterday afternoon and said, with the storm and everything, our shipment of vaccines got delayed. So we do not have the vaccines to give this week. So we are rescheduling that for October 27th, and it will be from 9 to 3 o'clock. I will encourage you, if you do not want to wait, you are absolutely able to go, just drive to Walgreens and get your booster shot, get your flu shot, or whatever other retail outlet in town is offering those things. But if you want to wait, we are going to do it here on October 27th. And then another update, I did mention this at the RAC meeting 2 Fridays ago. Tomorrow is the day that we will be presenting the 2023 operating budget to your resident leaders. So your RAC president, we have the chairman of the finance committee, and a representative of the Retired Officers Corporation. We are going to meet and go over our budget for next year. Mary Mackey will be here as well. Unfortunately, as I'm telling our resident leaders, I thought I had last week to prepare, and unfortunately a storm came through, so I haven't had as much time to prepare as I'd hoped, because we were still making some changes as late as yesterday. So, but we will be, I have lots of good information to share, and we'll be going over that tomorrow. And then on October 17th, which is a Monday at 3 o'clock, I will be presenting our 2023 budget to all of you here in the auditorium. And with that presentation, you all know that comes with what the monthly service fee increases are going to be next year. And so we've talked a lot about that all year long. In floor meetings and other meetings, people are aware of the period of inflation we are experiencing right now. So we've worked really, really hard to do as much as we could to mitigate those increases, but you all know with inflation, it's not going to be a low increase. But be ready. We will give you all that information on Monday, October 17th, and as we sort of wrap up that whole process. I also want to say, Happy Yom Kippur to our residents of Jewish faith. I don't know that that's the appropriate way to say it. As I did my research, it's Have a Good Holy Day. So that starts today at sundown. So I wanted to express my wishes for that sacred holiday. And then one more thing I want to do, and I can't be happier about this, and I've been prepping all of you, is we finally have our new DFS. Dennis Kimball is here. I'm going to have him come up. Give Dennis a big round of applause. His first week at Freedom Plaza was a hurricane week, and he did just wonderfully. He stayed here through the storm and helped us all, so very appreciative. So we're sort of limping through our first month end close together this week, but so happy to have him here, and I'm going to let him introduce himself.
Hello, everybody. Great looking bunch. Yeah, I didn't know when I started that Ian was going to start the same week I did, but I'm going to stick around. I'm glad Ian's gone. So yeah, I really, I've only been here, last week, but because of Ian, I kind of feel like this was my first real week. I've already got the opportunity to meet several of you. I met Al and Ron and Larry early in the process. I got to meet several of you even last week walking around the facility with the storm going on. And I can already tell you, just from my own experience, I've been working in long-term care for about 28 years in different capacities, always from the financial side, CPA, and so that's always kind of been, the financial side is where I've been, but I worked in a lot of different capacities. And just in the week I've been here, the team here and the way that they come together in the midst of crisis and things like that, I know that can make you all feel really good about who you have, here as your team. Also, I really enjoyed getting to meet many of you yesterday at the Oktoberfest. Wasn't that fun? Yes. That was great. I look forward to meeting all of you as time goes on. As I'm learning processes and even where the auditorium is, I just ask you to, just be, if I seem a little glazy eyes for a few, weeks or whatever, I'm just learning everything. Continue to work with Victoria and Crystal, who is my amazing team, for anything that you have pop up, on a month-to-month basis. But anyway, I'm very excited to be the DFS here, and I look forward to getting to know all of you.
Thank you, Dennis. All right, Teresa's going to come up and give a few updates related to dining.
Hi, everyone. First, I'd like to thank y'all for being super patient and super easygoing last week during Ian. You helped us to help you make sure we get a nice warm meal, so I'm very proud of the team. We had 11 dining associates that stayed through the storm to help get out all of the meals. Not only did we feed the residents, we also fed the associates as well. So I'm super proud of my team, and thank you all for bearing with us with that. A couple things that I have going on in dining. First, we did have to cancel the Enchanted Evening. As we try to get our bearings straight since Ian, and with some upcoming events that we have, we are looking to reschedule that. I need to speak with the other community to see when we can get that back on the books. We have successfully created our committee for the pub concept dining committee that we are forming. We have 13 residents that we have asked to take part in it. An email was sent out last week to them to get feedback on what their thoughts on the pub moving forward will be. I'm still waiting to get those emails back. Our first meeting will be held on October 13th. We are going to be discussing the following: hours of operation, possible rebranding of the pub, and menu. So we're looking to do this, we're looking to reopen the pub, reopen the pub in 2020, or Q2 of 2023. So we have some time. The one thing that we had to do due to supply chain difficulty is we did have to secure equipment for the pub and design choices like sconces and chairs and whatnot. If we would have waited on that, that would have put us back a little bit further. So on this committee, we have residents from both sides of the spectrum, ones that would prefer to keep the pub the same and ones that would like to see some change for the future. So as we talk through this, the committee members will be also engaging with all of you, all the rest of the residents who are not on the committee, to get their feedback as well. And as I've done in the past, when we have taken any approach to making any changes in dining, there will be a survey that will be sent out to all of the residents so we can get feedback from the entire community. We know we're not going to make everybody happy, but we need to enhance our dining program and make it something that will increase participation for all. So we'll come to an agreement on that, and we'll keep you aware of what is happening throughout the process. If you are interested in the pub committee or have feedback that you would like to submit, you can always submit that to me via email. I'm looking for more to give their feedback on it, so I'm very open to receiving emails, or just stop in the office, let me know. We did have a really good thing that happened right before Ian. We actually hired our lead cook for our kitchen, and he showed up on Monday prior to Ian, which was great. His name is Kern, and he came back this week, so that's great. We're over the moon. It has been a year and 6 months since we've been staffed in our kitchen. So every single time we hire somebody, fingers crossed that it works out. So he is a really welcomed addition to the team. Last night he was on the line and did an amazing job, so very happy. With that, we also look to the team that we do have that have been, no pun intended, but braving the storm with us over the past few years during renovations, during COVID, and most recently Ian. And Kayla Sanders, who has started off as a dishwasher and then moved to catering and then came back to the kitchen as a lead cook. We've promoted her to our second sous chef. So we're thrilled with that. She's been with us for about 6 years, and she's done an amazing job, and she's working with Jacob Claypool, who is a sous chef in our kitchen as well, who is now like the senior sous chef. So between Chris, Jacob, and Kayla, I am very, very pleased with the team back there, and Chris is really excited. He's got a new lead cook in. We still have 2 open positions available, one in the kitchen and one in catering. And we're still looking for the right fit for the grill. The grill does seem to give us a little bit of a issue as far as bringing in viable candidates. So as we are reaching out to everyone that is applying, we're just not receiving anyone that is a good fit for that position. We're also looking to other areas on our team to see if we can maybe shift and move them over to the grill to get those hours extended. But I think that's all I have right now, but thank you so much. I'm glad we all stayed safe, and have a great afternoon.
Just a couple more updates. One of the items that I've talked about at the RAC meeting as well 2 Fridays ago is our work with the Salon. I had some residents present some concerns about the new pricing in the Salon. So my commitment was to do my homework and do some investigating. I met with PS Salons, and actually Nicole from PS was supposed to be here today. I don't see her, but I had the conversation with our representatives from PS Salon, shared the concerns about pricing, and they, their comeback to me is what my comeback is to you all about monthly service fee increases, right? Their supply costs have pretty much doubled in the last 2 years. The cost of keeping employees has gone up dramatically. And so when I expressed that, there are places in town where residents can go and get significantly cheaper services, the pushback there was, well, you can't compare us to Supercuts or a small private salon that somebody runs out of their home. or something like that. So what I did was, to them, I said, I appreciate, what you're sharing with me, but I'm gonna have to do some more investigating on my own. So I did reach out to another salon and met with them, and when and I shared all the same concerns with them as I did with PS salons, so then they gave me their price sheet, and it was the same exact price sheet for services. And there's a lot that goes into having a salon come into Freedom Plaza or changing the salon that works at Freedom Plaza. We don't have licenses for our salons. So whatever salon is in the salon is the one who has to secure the license for those. And we have 4 salons across our community. The one in Independent Living, there's one at Plaza West, there's one in the Arbors, and there's one at Freedom Plaza Assisted Living. Also, when our stylists come on board, they sign a non-compete agreement, meaning that if we would change salons, the existing salon does not have to let them go work for the new salon that we would bring to Freedom Plaza. The other thing I learned is that in a lot of states, it is not legal to differentiate pricing based on a men's haircut and a woman's haircut. However, Florida is not one of those states, and the way they sort of get around that, and if you look on the price sheet, because one of the concerns that was presented to me was a men's haircut's $30, a haircut's $30, and well, if you look on the price sheet, there is something called a clipper cut. That is truly a men's haircut, and it's $22. Not that that's cheap, but it is less expensive than a regular haircut, and so it might be a semantics thing. So if we call that a barber cut or something like that, that is slightly less expensive than a normal haircut. I don't want to share with you what I spend when I go to the salon, but I will tell you it's a lot more than $30 for a haircut. So I'm going to continue to do my research, and I will still reach out to PS because they wanted to come up and do a presentation for you all and sort of explain the method to the madness. And so if I will make sure we get them here for our next town hall meeting to review all those things. But just know that I do continue to work on it. It's not something I'm ignoring or don't appreciate. It's just not, it's not as easy as snapping my fingers and having a new salon or having the current salon reduce their prices, because I can't force anybody to change what their prices for services are. But know that I appreciate your concerns and that I'm doing what I can. I think that's all I had. Is there any questions for me or Teresa or Dennis or anybody? Got one back here.
I don't have a question, but I think most of us do not realize that our maintenance men were out in the middle of the storm on ladders trimming bushes that were hitting windows. I think that's above and beyond.
I agree.
Yeah.
We're very lucky. Very lucky to have the team that we have here. Anybody else?
Are the new in-room dining takeout containers recyclable?
So Teresa, that might be for you.
Not new, but they're just they're not. Yes, they are recyclable and they're combustible, but they were shipped to us because that's all they had in stock. So that's why we have a little bit of a inventory of them.
On the back, that's recyclable.
Yeah.
And so the question was, the new in-room dining containers, are they recyclable? So the ones we are currently using, yes, and we got those because that's all that was available, so they might not be here for the long haul, but for now, as we use up our inventory, they are recyclable.
Good.
Anything else? You all are an easy group today. Keep it up. You may not be after the 17th. All right, well, thank you all for coming. Please eat up what's left in the back of the auditorium.